What would you do if you had to make $80,000 in the next 30 days? You have no job, you don't want to take out a loan, and you're sitting at home with no clear source of income. Most people would say, bro, that's impossible. But back in 1930, during the Great Depression, when the entire economy was struggling and millions of people barely had enough money to put food on the table, one man wrote a book called Times $1,000, Ways to Make $1,000. And that book contained an idea that is just as true today as it was back then. Making money isn't a game of luck. It's a skill, and every skill can be learned. In today's video, I'm going to show you 6 powerful techniques from that book that can completely change the way you think about making money. You'll learn how money is actually created, where profitable ideas come from, and most importantly, how to get started. And the best part? You can start using these ideas today. So make sure you watch until the end, because the 6th technique is the most powerful one. Once you truly understand it, your entire perspective on money may change forever. So, without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. Number 1. Every problem is a business opportunity. The first and most fundamental lesson is simple. Where there's a problem, there's a business opportunity. And where there's a business opportunity, there's money to be made. Sounds simple, right? But what do most people do when they see a problem? They complain. A smart person sees the same problem and asks, who would pay to have this problem solved? For example, imagine that in your neighborhood there are elderly people who struggle to use smartphones. Their children live in different cities or even different states, and they don't know how to use technology. They may not know how to use WhatsApp, video calls, digital payments, or AI tools. That's a problem, but it's also a business opportunity. You could visit them for 2 hours a week, teach them how to use their smartphones, and charge $10 a month. If you had 50 customers, that would be $500 a month from a service that requires almost no upfront investment. The wrong approach is, these people don't know how to use technology. Why don't they just learn it themselves? The right approach is, their problem is real. I know how to solve it. Would they pay me for the solution? That's the difference between someone who sees problems and someone who sees opportunities. And here's a real-world example. In 2005, Phanindra Sama came up with the idea for Redbus. After struggling to find a bus ticket during Diwali, that frustration turned into a business. In 2006, he launched Redbus and helped bring bus ticket booking online. Years later, the company was acquired by the Abibo Group in a deal reportedly worth around 800 crore rupees. The lesson is simple. You don't always need to invent something completely new. Look at what people need. Look at what they're already paying for. And if you find a problem that isn't being solved well, you have an opportunity. Number 2, sell first, build later. This idea sounds backwards, but it's one of the most powerful business lessons you can learn. Most people do the exact opposite. They spend 6 months building a product. Then they launch it. And only afterward do they discover that nobody actually wants to buy it. 6 months gone, money gone, energy gone. The smarter approach is to validate the idea first. Ask people what they want. Get commitments, then build the solution. For example, imagine you know how to cook and want to start a home-based meal delivery business. Don't immediately rent a kitchen. Don't buy expensive equipment. Don't create a huge menu. First, message 10 friends, coworkers, or people in your neighborhood and ask, if I delivered homemade meals to you every day for $5, would you buy them? If even 5 people say yes, you have something worth testing. Now you can start preparing the meals. The wrong approach is, build first, then try to find customers. The smarter approach is, find customers first, validate the demand, and then deliver. This same principle is used by modern startups all over the world. And the fact that this idea was being discussed back in 1930 makes it even more fascinating. Number 3, sell your expertise, not your time. This lesson is a little more philosophical, so pay attention. When you work a traditional job, what are you really selling? Your time. And your time is limited. You have 24 hours in a day. That means there's naturally a ceiling on how much you can earn by simply exchanging hours for money. But when you sell your expertise, your knowledge, skills, experience, or ability, you're no longer limited in exactly the same way. For example, imagine an accountant working a regular, salaried job. But instead of working full-time for one company, that accountant helps 5 small businesses with their bookkeeping and financial reporting and charges each business $200 per month. That's $1,000 a month from a service that can potentially be delivered without a traditional full-time commitment. And maybe you're thinking, but I don't have any expertise. Wait, can you use Excel? Can you use Canva? Can you edit videos? Can you write? Do you understand social media? Are you good at generating images or videos with AI? Do you know something about a particular subject that other people struggle with? Then you already have something valuable. There are people who know things you don't know. And there are also people who don't know things that you know. Your knowledge may seem ordinary to you, but it can be extremely valuable to someone else. The key is learning how to package that knowledge into a useful service and sell it. Number 4, the magic of repeat business. This next technique is incredibly underrated, and ignoring it is one of the biggest mistakes small businesses make. Think about it. Finding a completely new customer requires effort. 77. But selling again to someone who already trusts you is often much easier. Your existing customers can be your most valuable customers. For example, imagine you paint someone's house. You finish the job, collect your money, and leave. That's one approach. But a smarter business owner might contact that customer 6 months later and say, "Hey, with the weather changing, walls can sometimes develop moisture or damage. Would you like us to come by and take a quick look?" That's repeat business. Take a barber, for example. If a barber has 50 loyal customers who come in every month, he doesn't have to find 50 completely new customers every month. His existing customer base creates recurring revenue. The wrong approach is to constantly chase new customers while forgetting the old ones. The smarter approach is to provide such a great experience that your existing customers come back and recommend you to their friends. That principle is often described today as retention over acquisition, and it remains one of the foundations of successful businesses. Number 5, start small, but think big. One of the biggest problems people have is that they either think too small and never grow, or they think so big that they never start. The better approach is start small, but build with a bigger vision. Imagine a woman who knows how to bake. She starts at home, taking orders from friends and family. Then she creates an Instagram page. Then she opens a small bakery. Then she starts taking larger corporate orders. Eventually, she could be generating thousands of dollars in monthly revenue. But it all started with one cake. That's the point. Big businesses often start with small ideas. But behind those small ideas is a big vision. If you start thinking about an office, employees, expensive equipment, and huge investments, before you even have your first customer, you may never start. Take the first step. Then let the next step reveal itself. Think about McDonald's. It didn't begin as the global fast food giant we know today. It started as a small restaurant business. Today, McDonald's operates in more than 100 countries. So the next time someone laughs at you and says, "Why are you doing such a small business?" just smile, because you know where you're going. Number 6, create value, and you won't have to chase money. This is the final technique, and it's the most powerful one. Listen carefully. People who constantly chase money often end up moving further away from it. But people who focus on creating value often find that money follows. It sounds philosophical, but the practical meaning is extremely powerful. People are willing to pay you when you make their lives easier, better, faster, safer, or more convenient. Your job isn't to constantly ask, "How can I get money from people?" Your job is to ask, "How can I create so much value that people genuinely want to pay me?" Let's take a freelance video editor. there are two types of editors. The first one simply does exactly what the client says: edit the video, deliver the video, done. The second editor does the editing, but also says, I think this thumbnail could perform better. Instead of making this video 15 seconds, I think 30 seconds might give us more room to tell the story. This part could be stronger if we change the opening. Now tell me, who do you think will earn more? Probably the second person. Because they're not just selling a service, they're creating additional value. Here's another example. Imagine two store owners. The first one simply sells you a product. You pay and leave. The second one sells you the product and then explains how to use it properly. What mistakes to avoid, and which product might work better for your specific needs. Where are you more likely to shop next time? Probably the second store. That's value. And this principle doesn't apply only to business. It applies to jobs too. An employee who simply does the minimum required work may remain average. But an employee who solves problems, brings new ideas, helps the team, and consistently creates value becomes much harder to replace. And those are the people who often get promoted. And that's the core message. There are thousands of ways to make money. But almost all of them are built on the same foundation. Solve someone's problem, create genuine value, and keep doing it consistently. If you're still watching, do me a quick favor and hit the like button. It costs you nothing, but it helps this video reach more people who might need to hear this message. Now let me quickly summarize everything. Number 1. Look for the business inside the problem. Where there's pain, there's an opportunity. Number 2. Sell before you build. Validate the idea before investing your time and money. Number 3. Sell your expertise, not just your time. Your knowledge may be someone else's solution. Number 4. Build repeat business. Your existing customers can be more valuable than constantly searching for new ones. Number 5. Start small, but think big. Take the first step and build from there. And number 6. Create value. When you consistently create real value, money becomes a result, not the only goal. Now, one final thing. F.C. Minneke wrote this book during a time when the economy was devastated. People were struggling, businesses were failing, and many people believed there was no way forward. Yet he wrote about thousands of ways to make money. Maybe you're facing challenges today too. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe your income is low. Maybe you don't know what direction to take. Maybe the economy feels uncertain. But remember this, your biggest problem may not be a lack of opportunities. It may be a lack of action. You now have 6 ideas. Pick one. Start today. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time never comes. If this video helped you in any way, hit like, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't turned on notifications yet, go ahead and do that too. Because every week, we break down powerful books and bring their most important lessons directly to you. You can also download the Book Summary app, where you can listen to more than 400 free book summaries in Hindi without ads. I'll see you in the next video. You guys are amazing. Keep reading, keep learning, keep growing. Thanks for watching.